Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your Hidden Truth Tarot reading. Welcome to Virgo.
As always, take what resonates, softly release the rest, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay connected with future messages. Now, let's see what warnings the universe is bringing to your awareness. There's someone in your orbit carrying energy that threatens your peace, and ignoring the signs your intuition is already showing you could cost you more than you're prepared to lose. Not everyone who smiles is safe. Not everyone who seems harmless is harmless. Not everyone who acts friendly has friendly intentions. And there's a specific individual currently close enough to cause damage who's showing you exactly who they are through small behaviors you might be dismissing as nothing, but they're not nothing. They're warnings. They're your system telling you to create distance before proximity becomes problem. This isn't about paranoia. This isn't about seeing danger where there isn't any. This is about recognizing patterns that indicate someone operates in ways that don't serve your well-being, ways that could drain you, manipulate you, use you, damage your reputation, compromise your peace, create chaos in spaces that are currently stable. And the longer you stay close without boundaries, the deeper the potential harm becomes. In the specific moment you're navigating, you're being given information through your gut, through small incidents, through things that don't sit right, even if you can't articulate why. The universe is showing you who this person is. Your work is to pay attention, to trust what you're sensing, to act on the warning before the warning becomes crisis. Let me reveal what's currently present that requires your immediate awareness. In the territory of human predation and harmful intention. Dangerous people rarely announce themselves, obviously. They don't wear signs. They often present as charming, as helpful, as trustworthy. They gain access through performance, through saying right things, through creating impression that contradicts their actual nature. It's probable someone near you is operating exactly this kind of deception right now. They're showing you one face while carrying another. They're performing care while planning harm. They're building trust so they can exploit it. And the performance is good enough that you might be questioning your own instincts when those instincts are trying to protect you. Watch for specific markers. Do they isolate you from others? Do they need to know everything about your business? Do they speak poorly of everyone else to you? Do they create drama wherever they go but position themselves as victim? Do they violate small boundaries to test if you'll enforce them? Do they make you feel guilty for protecting yourself? These aren't random behaviors, they're strategies, tactics used by people who operate through control and manipulation. And if you're seeing multiple of these patterns in one person, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation your instincts are reading accurately. Some dangerous people are obvious threats, aggressive, volatile, easy to identify as harmful. But others are covert. They damage through subtlety, through erosion rather than explosion, through making you question your own perception until you can't trust yourself anymore. Those are often more dangerous because you don't see them coming until harm is already done. This reflection invites you to consider, is there someone in your life who makes you feel off balance or drained without clear reason why? Let me clarify what be very careful actually requires from you in practical terms. Careful means creating distance, not necessarily dramatic confrontation, not necessarily announcing you see through them, but strategic withdrawal, reducing access, limiting what you share, protecting your resources and your information and your energy from someone who might use them against you. In the art of protecting yourself from harm, without creating unnecessary conflict. You don't always need to call people out. You just need to move differently around them, become less available, less open, less invested. Let the relationship naturally drift rather than forcing rupture that could make them vindictive. It's essential you start implementing exactly these protective measures now. Stop sharing personal information. Stop seeking their advice or validation. Stop including them in plans or decisions. Um, Stop being available whenever they call. Create space, build walls, reduce their influence in your life incrementally enough that they don't perceive it as rejection worth retaliating against. Some people struggle with this because they feel guilty. They think protecting themselves is mean. They worry about hurting someone's feelings. But your safety matters more than someone's comfort. Your peace matters more than avoiding awkwardness. And someone who's genuinely harmful, they're counting on your guilt. They're counting on you being too nice to enforce boundaries. You might need to get comfortable disappointing someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart, with being called cold or distant by someone who was never truly warm, with letting someone think you're the problem rather than exposing yourself to their capacity for harm. This reflection invites you to consider, what boundaries do you need to set immediately to reduce someone's access to you? Let me speak to what it will be. The end specifically warns about. End suggests finality, significant loss, damage that can't easily be repaired. Not physical danger necessarily, but end of peace, end of stability, end of reputation, end of resources, end of relationships, end of opportunities. The kind of harm that changes your circumstances in lasting ways. In the landscape of how toxic people destroy, they often work systematically. They undermine your credibility. They turn people against you. They create situations that make you look bad. They steal from you financially or emotionally or professionally. They damage things you've built, and by the time you realize the full extent, significant harm has already occurred. It's probable the person triggering this warning has capacity for exactly that kind of systematic damage, not because they're evil necessarily, but because they're wounded in ways that make them dangerous, because they operate from scarcity or jealousy or need for control, because hurting others makes them feel powerful, because they genuinely don't care about collateral damage they cause. Some people will sabotage your career, spread lies that damage professional reputation, steal ideas or credit, create chaos that makes you look unstable or incompetent. And they'll do it while pretending to support you, while acting like they're on your side. Others will damage personal relationships, turn friends against you, create division in your family, poison romantic connections, make you isolated so you're more dependent on them. Classic manipulation tactic disguised as care. Still others will drain you financially, borrow without returning, create emergencies that require your resources, position themselves to access your money or assets, and when you finally cut them off, they might retaliate in ways that cost you more than what they took directly. This reflection invites you to consider, what areas of your life feel most vulnerable to damage from someone you're questioning? Let me reveal how to recognize if you're already being harmed. Check your energy levels. Are you consistently exhausted after interacting with this person? Do you feel heavier rather than lighter? Do you need recovery time after being around them? Physical and emotional drain are signs someone is taking more than they give. Examine your self perception. Have you started doubting yourself more, questioning your judgment, feeling less confident? Manipulative people erode self trust intentionally. They want you unsure, so you defer to them. Notice your other relationships. Are they suffering? Are people commenting that you've changed? Are you more isolated? Harmful people often create separation between you and anyone who might help you see clearly. Look at your resources. Are you giving more than you're receiving? Are they creating financial strain? Are they consuming time you need for your own priorities? Parasitic relationships always flow one direction. In the honest accounting of what this connection is costing, you might discover the damage isn't potential, it's current, it's already happening. You're already experiencing harm that will only escalate if you don't intervene. It's critical you acknowledge this without minimizing, without making excuses for them, without convincing yourself it's not that bad. If your life is harder because someone is in it, if your peace is compromised by their presence, if you're giving substantially more than you're receiving, that's harm. That's the beginning of the end this warning speaks to. This reflection invites you to consider, what has this person already cost you that you've been minimizing? Let me address what you're probably feeling as you read this. There's likely resistance. Part of you doesn't want this to be true, doesn't want to believe someone you've trusted or cared about might actually be harmful, doesn't want to face the reality that you need to create distance from someone who's embedded in your life. In the discomfort of recognizing someone as threat, we often experience denial first. We make excuses. We focus on their good qualities. We remember times they were helpful. We convince ourselves we're overreacting. And that denial, that's what allows harm to continue and deepen. It's probable you're fighting exactly that internal battle right now. Evidence is mounting that someone isn't safe. But accepting that evidence means acting on it, means disrupting your current reality, means potential confrontation or loss. So part of you wants to ignore what you're sensing. Some people stay in harmful situations for years because leaving feels harder than staying, because they've invested so much they don't want to admit it was a mistake, because they're trauma bonded or financially entangled or afraid of retaliation, and they watch their lives deteriorate while knowing exactly who's causing the deterioration. You don't have to be that person. You can trust your instincts now. You can act on the warning before it becomes catastrophe. You can protect yourself before protection becomes recovery. You can choose your peace over someone else's presence in your life. This reflection invites you to consider, what would it take for you to prioritize your safety over someone else's access to you? Let me close by speaking to what this moment demands. Urgency is real, danger is present, but panic doesn't serve you. Clear-headed strategic action serves you. You need to create distance, set boundaries, reduce vulnerability, protect what matters, and you need to do it wisely. Document concerning behaviors if this person has power to retaliate professionally. Create paper trail. Protect yourself legally if needed. Don't just hope for best while leaving yourself exposed. Strengthen other relationships. Reconnect with people this person might have distanced you from. Build support network that can see clearly when you're being manipulated. Trust yourself completely. Your gut is speaking for reason. Your discomfort is data. Your instincts are protection system that's functioning exactly as designed. Act now. Create distance. Protect yourself. The warning is active. The danger is real. The choice is urgent. Urgent danger, Someone near you carries capacity for harm. Be very careful with this person. Create distance, set boundaries, protect your resources and your peace and your reputation, or it will be the end. Continued proximity without protection could cost you significantly in ways that are difficult to recover from. This isn't fear-mongering. This is honest assessment of risk that's present in your current reality. Someone is showing you who they are through small actions, through patterns, through the way you feel around them. Believe what you're being shown. Trust this. Trust your discomfort. Trust your exhaustion. Trust your instinct that something is wrong, even if you can't prove it. Trust that protecting yourself isn't mean. Trust that you're allowed to create distance from anyone who threatens your well-being. Act immediately. Enforce boundaries. Choose yourself. Your peace isn't negotiable. Your safety isn't optional. Distance is protection. Move accordingly.